Welcome to R&D, a fashion channel that gives you a behind-the-scenes look at various industry jobs. Each episode, we feature different professionals and artists, highlighting their role in the fascinating process of making garments. Today, we're in the shop with Chris and Noel of Experimental Screen Printing. Join us as they walk us through their process, showing us some unique examples of past projects and some current prints they're working on.
So my name is Noel.
And I'm Chris. We're Experimental Screen Printing.
In Los Angeles, California.
We are local community artists. Noel's been doing silk screening for over 20 years. And we provide services as flocking, foils, discharge, not only just plastisol, we work with water base.
Is your main focus for apparel and the fashion industry, or do you do alternative?
Mostly for the high-end fashion industry. That's where we found our home.
It starts with the artworks, then the film, and then the burning the screen, picking the mesh on the screen, and then the setup of the machines.
Always have to do the artwork. So it starts in the computer. From the artwork, once we have the correct size, once we know exactly what the outcome of your look is, then we do the color separation if there's need to. I print the film.
And this is your film. This is the basics of everything. This is discharge with plastisol colors and flocking at the end. And there's not a lot of people that do this kind of job anymore. Which to me is very, very simple, basic.
But when you look at it, it doesn't look like it has so many screens.
But the colors are there to make that image. So first, second, third, and the last. With the squeeze, you control everything. They come in different hardness. Yeah, the soft ones are for water-based.
Well, because of the ink is so runny. So you literally just, and then
the thing with silk screen is
and then cover it up again.
Exactly. You don't need to use pressure. That's my advice. Yeah. It's just simple. Once the squeeze touches the palette, just squish, and that's it. You don't need to struggle to make the ink go through. That's exactly why I'm telling you the mesh. The mesh of the screen determines
the detail.
All the detail.
Sometimes you need a tighter mesh, so that you can capture all the little fine lines, fine details, fine outlines, and that helps produce the picture.
Yeah.
When you're working with something solid like this, then you need the ink to deposit more. So the mesh is going to be wider. The holes are going to be bigger on the mesh that you're going to use. So even though the screens all look the same, they're definitely not the same.
They're different mesh.
Yeah.
So I already coated my screens. I let them dry for a whole day. I prepared the emulsion already, and what I do, I just measure whatever placement I have here is going to transfer to the machine. I center everything. I use the same distance on all of them, and I just tape it. In this case, I can do 2 screens at the same time. This is a vacuum that holds the screens down so they don't move. And then you just turn on your lights. And they're on. 3 minutes after, that's it. I go wash it and that's it. But this is because I already have my emulsion done correctly with the right amount of water. And I already have my screens coated correctly with the time that it takes to dry a screen. So the burning is no big deal anymore. Everybody has a different way of doing things.
Once it's burned, he leaves the screen in the sun for a little bit.
Oh, so it cures them.
So it makes it tighter and tougher, and then it kind of doesn't fight so much with the water.
There's chemicals that you can add after you burn the screen to make it harder. The emulsion, I don't use them. The less chemicals we can use, the best. So I'm just gonna turn it off. And it's been burned. That's gonna come off, and this is gonna stay. So I just use a rag with water just to give it a soft hand wash. And you can see the image coming out already. You don't need that much effort anymore. When you do this correctly, this is what happens. It's gonna get louder. Make sure that everything's out, all the details. Can you see it? Mm-hmm. I'll do a second wash. That's it. That's how you expose and wash the screen. That's my go by. That's what I did before. That's my sample. And now I'm gonna print them here. I gotta spray it with glue. So the fabric doesn't move when you use pressure on the screen. Well, I center the screen with my palette. Center meaning everything. He has to be straight. He has to be centered on the palette. And that's it. You get your placement. In this case, I already know the placement between the pocket of the sweatshirt and the top. And as simple as this.
Our job is to make sure that what you envisioned and flat, right? We are able to produce it. In this case, it's orange. The customer wanted a little bit of a neon hit to it, so, you know.
We customize the ink.
We kind of make the color give you that little neon reflection, because it also takes into account the color that you're printing it on. Mm-hmm. So if you're printing on black, black does eat up the color.
To do this, I think I use neon pink and neon orange to make it a little more, I guess, candy to the eye. Well, this is basically a dryer. This is what makes the molecules of plastisol melt together and cure. It dries the ink actually. It has to be a certain temperature.
What is that temperature?
320. And I have this running 5 seconds per minute. So really low, slow, but this is what works for me on the inks that I use.
Do the t-shirts only take one pass, or do you have to do like multiple passes?
Sometimes it takes multiple. All depends on the context of the fabric.
Ah.
If it's 100% cotton, it should be just one time. If it has polyester, it could be 2 or 3 times. If the fabric is being tie-dye or it has a lot of water, it could be 4 or 5 times to cure the ink. But it stays on the same temperature all the time. Very accurate on temperature. Yeah, most of the time I'm knocking on wood. If you bring us 50 pieces, you get 50 pieces back.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
like,
never a
I'm
problem.
not gonna lie, but that's our standards here.